All right, here's my September 23rd daily review. My first trade was on Tilray. Just a small risk. Thought that with its R vol, it had a potential to maybe break 1250, hold, and then keep going. But it didn't. Ended up being a terrible stock, as you can see. So got out of it and left it alone. Next one was BB. BlackBerry had good earnings, better than expected. On the daily here, you can see it had a gap up of about 6%. It was a trending down stock for the most part, but still you never know. And so what I did was I looked to see if I could find a good level, and I wasn't as convicted on this level. I would say that this level was more of like a 7 out of 10. So price was about to open somewhere around here. I just couldn't tell what level in here. There's just so much going on. So what I did was I just said, well, I want to play a high day break. And so if price opens up here, the highest point is this level, 1022. And then after that, we have multiple resistances right here at 1028. And then, but then I was like, oh, hey, look at all these three really line up well. So I'm going to make them some resistances. And then it pretty much stops after these two, because then this high pretty much matches with the close of here. So I said, okay, that's the last resistance level. And then after that, we have a nice gap all the way up. And then what do you know, that last resistance level lines up with a good psychological level of 1050. So I just used that. And so the open flushed down a bit and then came all the way up to 1050. But by that time, moved a full ATR. So my level of 1050, it was only a 7 out of 10 importance of a level to me. Plus, it had already gone a full ATR in 10 minutes or less. So it wasn't an A+ setup. I would say it was like a B setup. And so I did get long with a smaller position, and I was hoping to potentially add in right here. Actually, you know what? I was hoping to just partial at 11. This was going to be good enough for me. I put my stop down here. It's about this distance, so maybe a little bit higher. And I felt like if it holds this 1050, it could go up to the next psychological number of 11. It could do a whole nother ATR because its R vol was super high, 500%. So like I said, it wasn't an A+ setup because I feel like my level wasn't an A+ level, but it had enough variables to give it a try. But I just think since it was $10 stock, it was I think this was a meme stock at one point. So those things kind of factored in too and kind of made me not as confident in this stock. So I just got out at pretty much break even here. But it did end up doing, for the most part, what I thought it would. It made it up to 11. Would have hit my price point. So I think it was worth holding. I mean, looking at it now, it was, but yeah, I'm okay with that. mRNA, I explained in another video. This was just an A+ setup all around. Well, I'd say it was an A setup just because I feel like the potential of it wasn't as high as like my normal daily breakouts. But this 450 was a good level. It was a 10 out of 10 level, but I think that what it had been doing, I think the 450 break, in order to give me a really good ATR move, would have needed really high R vol, and it didn't have that. It had around 1 R vol. So and it did kind of what I thought it would do, which is it gave me a good move from 450, but it was only, you can see here, this is an ATR. It moved less than a full ATR the whole day. After the breakout, it moved about 40% of an ATR. So Had I gotten in here at the pullback, I would have definitely gotten a good 4-5R trade, but that's all right. So I'm still working on this A plus setup here. SPY though did take advantage of it. Similar kind of setup. You have the big sell off, big gap down, price is maybe coming back up. Then we had the Fed talk, price opens up right above it, moves strong, decent high R vol today over 1. And so what do? Is I try to find that big level that should give me the breakout level. And that was this 441 right here, which was the low, the gap fill. So this was pretty much the gap fill. I felt like if price was going to just fill the gap and then eventually continue back down, it was going to do it today. If not, we might get a nice move through it. And so that's what I did. I played this 441 level with the targets being the next really good level, which is an even better level of 443 here. And then the next level would be 445. So then on the intraday time frame, within about 10 minutes, price breaks 441. We get VPA here, confirmation. Pulls back, get a nice flag here, pull back, took the new 1 minute high, risking, just under 441. So about this far. And held it for a while. I mean, I actually did add in right here. So my main target was 443. So really, with looking at it now, that's 1, 2, so only about 2.5 to 3 R. So not an amazing RVR, but at the same time, this 441, this was pretty much a 10 out of 10 level. Maybe I'd say a 9 out of 10 level. So yeah, I scalped a bit in here, sort of started playing the price action. I felt like there was a lot of selling that was coming in here, like right here and right here, which are pretty comparable to these high a day breakout volume minutes. So I added in, but then got a little worried on this fast sell down, even though it didn't break this support. So this was kind of bad partialing from me. Should have just held this ad. I shouldn't have gotten worried until price really got under here, and then maybe could have sold some and then thought about it. But had price got under here, I think it wouldn't have been doing what I thought it was. Or I could have just gotten out and then gotten back in at the 441. So that's the thing, is like I had such a good plan. So yeah, for these trades, I get in here, and even if I do add in, I should at least let it come down here and then get out. And that's all right, because the idea is that if it breaks this, then it'll maybe come back down further and test some of this. I can always add back in, or it just doesn't work out. Like, the whole idea is that you're getting in here and you're literally risking money. Like you are risking money because you're telling yourself, well, this trade at least 50% of the time gives me a really good RVR move. So if anything, I could have maybe, before I add in, partial some and actually profit some money to make me feel better, and then maybe add in somewhere in here with a new stop right here. But yeah, and then that was pretty much it. I think that's all I can remember as of right now.